What is going on guys, MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Sunriser upgrade set from the Hobby Japan October 2009 issue for converting the old Riser into the Sunriser with the one runner of parts it includes, so as to make the high-grade form of the 00 Sunriser among many other possible forms. After a quick assembly, you'll be presented with the Zan unit, and as per usual for magazine kits, it features a great visual foundation, while the painting is left to your discretion. However, while they didn't cheap out on the looks, they also didn't cheap out on the gimmicks and moving parts just because it's a magazine set. Of course, there are the movable braces and connection ports on the underside for the different combos, but the sub-arms can also extend on a double joint, while the manipulators can rotate, which is a very neat gimmick on a very solid unit. No worries about falling parts here. Now moving on to the combos, let's start with the Zan 00 Gundam, made by flipping the peg on the underside up and plugging it onto the back of the Gundam. Aesthetically, this is just a less busy version of the 00 Sunriser I'll be showing later, but honestly, I do prefer this form. The small wings and sword buster swords already do the silhouette favors, and it just adds enough punch to the looks, so long as you get it painted of course. For some extra vigor, you can store the G and Sword 2s in the sub-arms, but the handles have to stick into the tiny slots on the manipulator to be absolutely solid, as they are stored with the rifle mode handles. Speaking of swords, the Zan unit provides the 00 Gundam with the G and Buster Sword 3, a pair of large swords that can sandwich into the hands for use. Though imposing without causing any weight issues, their paper-thin handles don't allow for a reliable grip in the hands. Moreover, they can combine in the middle and at the tip to form an even larger Buster Sword. While the weapon itself is secure, the odd shape and gripping style do compromise the grip around the handle, and makes it quite unwieldy to equip and use. Still, it's one striking weapon if you manage to get a display set up. Secondly, we have the Sunriser, forged by replacing the blue tail and winglets on the binders with the Zan unit and the sub-arm and swords respectively, while attaching the removed parts to the tail of the unit and plugging on the wings onto the surface of the binders. Undoubtedly, it extends the old Riser by a lot, balanced out by the GM Buster Sword 3 stored on the binders, but it definitely adds a lot of flair to the overall looks. I'd say it's definitely viable to display the Sunriser as a standalone piece. By extending and folding the tail down, while moving the bottom parts accordingly, you can attach it straight onto the 00 Gundam to form the 00 Sunriser, providing the benefits of extra weapons and a stabilized twin drive system at the cost of any visual appeal and a massive tail. Honestly, I don't like the looks of the 00 Sunriser, but it's by no fault of the kit. It feels like someone tried to make the design work, but then said, nah, it'll be fine, halfway, leaving the entire craft taped onto the back while leaving the entire Sunriser invisible from the front. It genuinely looks forced. While providing the same weapons and gimmicks as the Zan 00 Gundam, I fear the load on the waist snapping the peg, especially in the air when the Sunriser isn't propping itself up from the back, unlike on the ground. However, the Zan units can also be used on the other Celestial Being Gundams if you prefer. For example, you can rearrange the sub-arms and sword units, then plug it onto the Keradim Gundam in place of its tail, once the tail itself has been plugged into a flip-out hole on the unit and the bottom peg is flipped up. Arguably, it's one of the cooler combos this package has to offer besides the Zan 00 Gundam. If you want to schedule the Zan units for transportation, an adapter piece is included for the Aerial's mobile armor mode to attach the Zan units of the Keradim without the flipped out bottom peg. While forced, it still meshes rather well when you think of the Aerials as the courier. Finally, another adapter piece is included to attach the Zan units with reversed sub-arms and swords onto the Seravi Gundam, and honestly, it just doesn't work. Not at all. But the joke here is, you can either have a spiky tail, or let the Seraphim Gundam have a massive spiky dick. In conclusion, I'd honestly say suit yourself regarding whether or not to pick this up, or perhaps the future Bandai high-grade 00 Sunriser box set, just going tinfoil hat here. But frankly, this set is neat. a couple of simple parts with the ability to make 2 forms of the 00 Gundam, some miscellaneous forms they decided to add onto the rest of the crew, while expanding their feature sets with the Buster Swords and sub-arms. There really isn't anything to criticize for this set, apart from my tastes not aligning with the core design of the 00 Sunriser. So for me, this isn't an expansion set to kill for, especially when the Master Grade is a superior version of it if you don't care about the scale difference. However, one thing any version of the 00 Sunriser cannot escape from is the impracticality, which is something to really consider unless you want to display yours as the dumb 00 Gundam. All in all, this upgrade set will satisfy everything you want from the Zan unit, and it all comes down to whether the Zan upgrade gels well with your own tastes. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching, drop a like and comment if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more content like this, and feel free to follow me on social media with the links down below. That said, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out guys, bye bye.